Hello everybody, just thought I'd do a quick video on some, well, I was going to say new acquisitions, free acquisitions. I had them a little while. This is a piece of apple which has been chopped here and here to try and get a bit of taper. It's actually been growing on this whole summer, and it's healthy, grown quite tall, so I'm quite pleased with it. But I'll just show you where this indeed came from. Okay, so this is an apple tree in the garden. Don't know what sort of apple it is. It was here when we moved in nearly 30 years ago, and the last few years it's been throwing up a lot of suckers around the base, and I've just let them grow for a while, and then I've dug a few out and put them in pots, and I've no idea what sort of rootstock this tree was grafted onto, or whether they'll ever make really good bonsai, but we're going to have a look at some of the trees that I've been growing on from these suckers. I know this will just enhance my reputation as a bit of a cheapskate, but yeah, why pay lots of money when you've got things that sitting there just asking to be the next volunteer. As you'll see in this video, I have several of these. One that I've been growing for a number of years now, and this that's kind of in its first year of volunteering, second year maybe, no, second year definitely. So I'm not going to do a lot to this tree. I do want to put a little bit of movement into it while it's young and supple, and probably should have done this earlier in the year, but that reminds me, this tree is growing through an old CD-ROM. I don't know how well the camera will see that, but tucked in there, that green is an old CD-ROM, and the tree is growing through the centre, and hopefully it'll basically layer itself as the CD cuts into the cambium layer. The tree will throw out roots over the top of the CD in order to try and save itself, as it were. So I can't force this wire down into the soil for the obvious reason, so I'm going to have to start it here at the base and kind of lock it in. I've tried the CD method on a couple of trees over the years with great success in one instance, partial success in others, and just the trees just breaking the CDs into pieces as they grow so strongly that rather than the CD having time to sort of grow into the trunk, the tree just pushes it apart and shatters it. So I haven't wired it all the way up to the top. The tree will be chopped down in the spring, so I'm just going to put a little bit of movement into some of these straight pieces. I'm not a big lover of the sort of wildly exaggerated S-shape bonsai that turn up in all sorts of places around this time of year. The sort of places that never sell trees but are trying to cash in on the Christmas market. So it's a vague S shape, but it's not as exaggerated as some, and that's basically it. The tree will sit like that now until the spring, and then it will be chopped back, and we'll begin to develop it some more. Okay, here's the next one, or possibly two. I honestly can't remember whether this is two separate trees that I potted into one pot, or whether it is joined under the soil level. I think it's two separate trees, but I won't know. We'll repot these in the spring and see. Again, just suckers dug up from around that tree and chopped back and allowed to grow on again, getting a bit of movement in without wire in this instance. And so yeah, pre-material but interesting material. I think there is a possibility with this tree in particular. I'm going to zoom in now. That I might chop it here and then allow this piece to become the new leader. In fact, I think I will do that, but not today. I want all this good growth at the top here to feed back into the roots as the tree turns in for the autumn, and come next spring I'll repot this tree and we'll chop it and wire it and start to develop something from there. Okay, here's another interesting apple project. This one I think is going to be in a broom style. Got it in this reasonable little shallow bulb planter, and it's growing quite nicely. As you can see, it's already developing into a nice upright broom style shape. So I'm going to be probably not repotting this in the spring, but certainly I will be cutting this back at around this level to promote side branching and further growth. I do notice I have some odd little growths at the top here, which is overwintering bugs, so I will be dealing with those later. Don't want them coming back and biting me in the backside, gnawing at my trees. But yeah, so I'll give you a quick 360. I think this one has got the best potential to make a really nice little tree. So again, something to work on in the spring. I may just put a little piece of wire on that piece just to move it more into that plane, so it's in danger of interfering up here. So anchor. Again, as I always say, a bit rough and ready, but I don't have to worry about impressing any judges. So we'll just move that away. Gives both of those trees, both of those branches, a little bit of light and air. Drinks can in for scale on this one. This is a tree, came from exactly the same place. It was a sucker from under under that apple tree, and I've been growing it 3-4 years maybe, chopping it and pruning it and growing it and chopping it, and gradually beginning to build up this little tree that just reminds me of an old tree in an old orchard that's almost fallen over with age, but continues to grow and sprout. So I think it's I'm really quite pleased with this tree. It's got some real character. Possibly this needs to come back a little bit. As you know, I've had some ongoing issues with my benches being overcrowded, which I hope to rectify soon. So some of the trees have got a little bit squashed up, but basically I hope this tree just needs some refining of the canopy, and with lots of pinching back, hopefully we'll get some more ramification and some interesting branching, and a really nice little specimen. Hasn't flowered yet, but we live in hope. Okay, I am going to just put a little piece of wire. Doesn't need to be a big piece of wire. I'm going to anchor it around that branch. And then just pull that back slightly. And that just brings that back and down. It leaves a little bit of open space in the center, let in some good light and air, and yeah, that's better. Pleased with that. Maybe another quick go round. Definitely better to have a bit of air in there between those branches, and probably give it another chop here come the spring, and hopefully get some more filling out in this direction. So that's it for this video today. So thank you all for watching. Please do take care of yourselves. Stay safe.